If I told you the things I've seen on my ways, if I told you the things I've done in my days, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's best I just don't say. I've lived 1,000 lives, I've piloted 1,000 souls, I killed and fought and died just for a single role.
Why, hello, and welcome to session 11. We say it was 11? 11 of Exodus in Mongoose Traveler 2nd Edition. I am your referee, Stu.
Hi, I'm Kimi. I am playing Riley O'Connor, and I am the conspiracy theorist, truther who believes in alien technologies from the ancients, and that's actually been proven in the last few sessions not to be as crazy as it sounded when we started.
So are you really a truther anymore? Because you're
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, she's literally a truther.
Yeah, it is the truth now.
And definitely a successful cult leader.
Yeah, and a successful cult leader. Ex-Marine. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Joey. I am playing Milo Hawkins, ex-diplomat, captain of our amazing ship. Fight me on it. It recognizes me as the captain.
You can lock the doors.
I can. And hope they don't have blasters.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's me, and I'm just trying to keep everybody on task and failing miserably, which is a lot of fun for them.
Hi, I'm Stork. I'm playing Vesa, Simola, who failed out of most of the careers in Traveler. As if you know Traveler character, then it's actually kind of easy to do. He's now a master brewer and vac suitor.
Hi, I'm backsuiter. So, you know, everybody's got to have their thing.
Right?
It's the only thing I have it too.
Backsuiter in this economy?
Who's got that kind of money?
Vac suitor? I don't even know her.
Oh.
I'm Pooja. I'm playing Shari Melnyk, an ex-intelligence agent and current coma survivor.
Oh, that's right. You've been decomed.
Yeah, we should have you sum up what happened last episode.
I mean, that is the tradition, right? You have the person who's missing do the
Tell
recap.
everything
That's
that happened.
Stoats how it's going to go, right? I was in a coma at the end. Let's move on.
It was dark. I was dreaming.
Yeah.
I dreamed of screaming.
All right, so last session, 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Does someone want to sum that up?
Let's see here. We started out. You were in a coma after going outside the ship, and your head got all hurted. And then
Yes,
put you in a
because
coma.
the vastly supreme intelligence that doesn't recognize us as sentient creatures decided to
Say hello.
say hi
So
and
we-
make my parts of my brain that shouldn't be larger.
So we put you in a medical-induced coma, and then we went to the planet to get nanotech to help her with that.
Yeah, we went to 70 Opiuchi. So
And while we were there, we picked up Kimi,
Yes.
who seemed to be kind of in a hurry to leave.
Yeah.
Because I think your cult had gotten...
militarized.
No, I mean they were there and they've been doing well. I didn't need to leave at all. But then it was when when I discovered you guys had gone and found this whole thing with alien bodies and stuff without me. I was like, let's go back. Let's go to the place.
Well, you were also trying to escape Li Ping. I think you were worried about her.
Oh, I didn't need to escape her because we met with her.
Oh yeah, but because she found us.
Yes. So she came and talked to us.
Yes, she gave us a sort of a stern, not a stern warning, but a warning about technology like this should not just be...
Dead civilizations are dead for a reason.
Yeah.
That's what I think was the
So
quote.
she'd been the one who'd kind of organized my cult and made them effective in my absence. But she came up and was just like, I'm not telling you what to do, but please heed my warning, and this is bad stuff. And we found out that they're able to to sense the use of that of the alien tech.
Right.
So,
yeah.
like, when my little statue thing started activating, she and her sensors were able to say, "Hey, we know this is active. Please don't activate it. Please don't use it. It'll kill things, probably."
Please
Yeah.
stop.
Maybe civilizations.
Yes. And I was, of course, very persuaded by her argument. Not at all. No. So then,
And we talked for a bit, and then we realized that it was also plugging into the background radiation of the universe to power itself.
Yes.
It just was like it would just absorb the background microwave radiation that permeates everything, but flows through us, binds us together, and powers itself.
well,
Sort of an unseen force, if you will.
yeah, it had been activated by that stuff. We don't know if that's what continually powers it. We don't know if that's how whoever's controlling it controls it. But I don't remember exactly. We jumped out for a while, didn't we?
Well, then we jumped out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first we determined...
You went to 35 OPUG.
Right.
Yeah.
But we also determined that the thing that you have basically creates a star map
Yeah.
of the area we're in, and we can locate ships. It's kind of a live, real-time star map.
Or that's at least what we thought it was.
Right.
Well, hologram, yeah.
And then we decided to jump out. Why did we jump out? Oh, because we wanted to...
We
She wanted to go see
test.
the ship.
Well, we wanted to test and see if it would work in a separate
I
area.
think what you were trying to do was find out if, because there was this sort of like, almost like a carrier wave over the background radiation
That's
that
what it
existed,
was.
and you were thinking that maybe your device had caused it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's
you
what it
jumped
was.
out of system, and then you had arranged for Li Ping to send a message following to see if that signal had gone away.
Right.
And it hadn't.
It hadn't. And while we were in that neighboring area, we started getting distress calls from 70 Obiuchi
Yes.
saying that they were under attack by unidentifiable forces. And we're like, oh, good, great. So we hopped back quietly.
Right.
If that's a thing. We flew casual and we stayed very far to the edge of that system. And we realized that
Excuse me. Sorry, Kevin.
this presence was there.
The giant alien space Hulk had warped into 70 OBU.
Yeah. And they'd taken over, they'd obviously gone through a lot of systems on their way because they'd taken over a lot of other crafts that were supporting them, but they were not alien make. They were human crafts.
Oh, those are all ships within
That was
70
all ships.
Opiuchi.
What they did was
That's a very busy system.
Yeah.
all the ships in the system. I think.
Yeah.
That were there are now.
And basically went around and...
There was a couple that weren't, but
Right.
that's when we discovered, oh, my glowy statue thing might have given them an exact blueprint of everything in this system.
Might actually be a beacon, and not an actual navigator.
Well, it's still tracking in real time everything that's there, but rather than informing us of everything that's there, it may have been informing everyone else of what was there too.
Yeah. And they convinced me to do what Shari did, which was go out on a tether with the helmet.
I think that was your idea.
I feel like after that went so well with me.
Right. Well, luckily, Two Crows gave me an injection to help negate a lot of the effects of the swelling in the brain meats. And basically, I started getting kind of hypnotized by it. Like, yeah, maybe surrender's not a bad idea. Yeah. Maybe just peacefully giving up and letting them do what they're going to do is a good thing. And then they tethed me back in.
And then we remembered last time, just before we warped out of system, what the Space Hulk was. You guys had that overwhelming urge to return to the ship. It's like we should return back to the Space Hulk. That seems like a really great idea. Right before we hit go.
Yeah. But this time it was just an immense calm. Like, it was very dociling.
Yeah, they're controlling like our endorphins more than thought. It's basically.
So then we decided, well, we should go somewhere.
Oh, now,
regroup.
one other thing happened.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember.
Well, we jumped to 36 OPUG.
Before you left the system, one of the things that you actually did discover is they're constructing something on the planet.
Yes, you're right.
There's a major undertaking happening on the planet.
Yes. But then we decided to jump to 36 OPUG so that we can send a message to Terra.
I'm going to silence my dog.
I thought we were going to jump to Altair.
We had to go to 36 OPUG first to send the message.
That's right.
Because there was no expo system.
And our plan was to go a roundabout way to see if we're being followed before we lead them all back to Terra.
Right. But, so we send the message, a Jim Holden type message to all of Terra. Like, hey, these things are coming. They're coming fast. Maybe be careful.
Decided to go to there.
And then we jump to Altair to get us out of the way, see if they're following us or just following a beeline to Terra. And when we jumped, we were confronted with, what, like a handful of ships?
He said, and there's a bunch of ships
Like
you
3
don't
or
recognize.
4.
And we'll leave it there.
Yeah, it was a significant number, but not, like, overpowering.
It wasn't like an army waiting for us.
Yeah.
And one thing, when we had jumped into that other system for the little test, when we first heard that distress beacon, or that the ship's sending it out, we also, there's a bunch of ships in that system heading towards 70 Obiuchi, and we basically gave them all the info we had about what it was, that they control mines, like we don't really have a way of fighting them, like, so we gave them all information, so hopefully...
I think some of them turned around.
Yeah, you
Some of
mentioned
them
that some
did.
of them did, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also discovered that the power armor blocks the mind control. So I was deconstructing some of the power armor to basically turn them into bulky back suits, so all y'all could wear them. There was enough for everybody if you don't have power armor skill.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Which I do not. I'm Batsuit 0.
I have a backsuit 1. I feel like that's
You need
a
that
lot
suit too, I think.
more than I thought it was.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, for battle dress you need 2.
And that's where we left it.
One of the things we were going to look up in between games, which I'm sure we forgot, is like when you're at 1, is it still 8 weeks of training, or
I didn't
does
look
that
that up.
decrease? Okay.
I still didn't look that up. Do we need to know right now?
If you're at
No.
1 and you want to go to 2, it's more than 8 weeks of training. It's
Is it?
It goes up, not down.
Oh, awesome. I'm sorry I asked.
Like 1 to 2. Like I think, like to get from 0 to 1 is 8 weeks, and go from 1 to 2 it's 16. Like I think it increases linearly, exponentially, whatever.
I want to say that's
16.
right.
Mathfully.
And then to 3 is
mathfully.
increases mathfully.
36.
That's madness. All right. Well, I was really excited because I'm at 8 weeks.
Okay,
of
yeah,
vac
you
suit.
add 8 weeks per level after 1.
All right. Well, I'm halfway to vac suit 2. Cool.
I'm sorry that I keep such good notes.
No, it's good.
Takes a lot of work to be the best backsuiter in the galaxy.
It's good that you have a suit correctly, because someone would be annoyed. So. All right.
All right, so we warp in.
Yeah. Did we figure?
More
So
ships.
yeah. So are we assuming Pooja is awake now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yay, nanotech.
Yay.
And you're basically. Oops. Now, when you entered the system, did you guys? I don't think you even mentioned if you don't like standard go to stealth.
I mean, that's what we have been doing.
Yeah, I feel like
Anytime we go into a place where we don't know, like, what's there, we've been going into stealth
Okay.
right away, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most
Okay.
part.
All right.
I feel
And
like
especially now
especially
that-
in this situation.
Especially now that the universe has kind of become much more hostile than it was.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So you come into system, and the first thing you get is the proximity alert that there are 4 vessels of unknown type. So you click.
Yeah. Phew. Oh, and the other thing, Pooja, we discovered is like we are not invisible to this new tech, like ship and stuff. FYI.
Great.
Right? We discovered that last
The
time.
giant
I don't know
omniscient
if you know
alien
that
can see us.
definitively. I don't
well,
think you know that definitively.
Well, we show as far as like what my little statue projected, like we showed up even when we were in. So even if
You're
they
not
can't,
turning that on still, are you?
No, well, no, but when we were in last session. So hypothetically, we're thinking if my little statue can see us on like the radar 3D hologram, that their technology can see us as well. So it's a very
Unless it needs your little,
Right. it's possible.
you know, traitorous beacon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's not on right now.
Oh,
I mean,
good.
I'm all
Not
aboard
that
for
we know how
spacing
to-
it.
Right. Not that you really know where the on-off switch is.
Yeah, not that we really know how to do that.
So you turn on the stealth bubble, and you are now blind.
Right.
You can send out the little antenna probe if you want to see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, let's
Do
send
the
out the
thing.
antenna probe
Okay.
see if we can get some kind of chatter or
You
anything.
you get 6 electromagnetic pulses, like on a broad spectrum.
Yeah, okay.
Not a high.
Not attacking.
No, not a high amplitude. It's like just a communication signal. It's like 6 pulses.
Is that
Like
a tip-
6 pulses from one ship, or like 6 pulses like from 6 origins?
It's coming from a single origin,
Okay.
and they're like beep 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 beep.
Is
And
that
there's
like
a long pause?
standard distress signal thing that we use?
No.
Mm.
Well, if I remember correctly, too, we pretty much need to refuel here. We can't jump out. I think we burned up our last
Yeah.
fuel getting here, so
Yes.
we're kind of committed to being here.
Yeah, that's why you went to the system, because it had a gas giant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it
So-
wasn't direct beeline to Earth.
Right.
So we saw.
It's unsettled space.
We saw the. So we saw the ships before, like in the instant before we threw up stealth.
Right.
Can we go on the other side of the gas giant
Hide.
from them, so they can't?
Yeah.
If we drop stealth to refuel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, put the gas giant between them and us.
That-
I was going to say, we rewind the video and see if we can catch a glimpse of the make and model of these ships? Are they Terran? Are they alien? Are they? Can we run a?
Make an education roll.
Do you want
No,
me to
somebody
do
else
it?
should do that.
Okay.
Anyone?
I just
but
bring up the
Stork.
idea,
Just
but I'm
straight
not.
education?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
I have computers.
no,
Comms.
this is just like to recognize the make of a ship.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably gonna be.
I mean, if you have recon might.
That is 10 in education.
Okay. That is not. It is not a ship make that you have ever seen before.
Okay.
It does not look like any ship you have seen before.
Okay.
Well then.
They do have They have weapons. You don't recognize really what they are. I mean, you can kind of make an educated guess at what some of them are, but they're largish. They're probably like destroyer-sized ships, and they're all the same make.
Are
Are
they
they
at all,
in good repair?
Yes.
are they at all similar to the Hulk that we found
No.
floating?
No. Very different from that too. Because that thing was freaking huge too. That thing was like a kilometer and a half long or something. Super dreadnought.
Okay.
And then that pulse beep 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 happens again.
Well, it's either a warning or it's waiting for a reply. It's one of the two. Can't imagine. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's pretty basic.
Well, it's not something we recognize. I'm rather concerned about trying to communicate with something we don't know.
Yes, because it hasn't worked out very well for us in the past.
Has it seemed? Have they changed course or like anything?
You would have to, make it. You make a sensors. Make a sensors
Okay.
check because you're basically you're dealing with very limited information because you're inside that stealth bubble.
Yeah. All right. Sensors. I have that.
Yeah, you do. I think you had it pretty high too. I thought.
Plus,
Yeah.
probably int.
What is it under?
Oh, it's right there. It's
Electronics?
sensors.
Electronics. Okay, I was looking under engineering. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
10, 11.
Excuse me.
11.
11. Okay. You don't have a int bonus.
No.
Okay. All right. They are sort of shadowing you, but not in a way that they're not like trying to encircle you or anything. It's basically their ships were here. You came into system, and you need to go to the gas giant over here. So you start heading this direction, and then as you start to pass them, they are kind of, but they're not like in hot pursuit.
Got it.
So they can see us through the stealth?
It seems like it. They're following you.
Well, if they can see us anyway, we might as well be able to see them too. Perhaps dropping the stealth would be a bad idea.
Like, based on where I can see, is it like, because I was in the Marines, so I probably know something about battle formation. Does it look like they are joining formation with us, or like they are preparing to like attack us? Like,
Yeah, it's definitely not the latter. They're basically kind of following you in a line almost.
interesting.
Because if they're gonna, if they were,
They would not be in a line.
no, they would be scattered out so they could get their weapons to bear. At this point, they would be shooting through each other. It's actually if they're going to attack, it's actually the worst position they could probably be in.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely not looking to shoot at us.
Well, not yet, but if they can find us, it seems only fair we should be able to see them.
I kind of feel like we should refuel before we do anything else. So in
Well,
case
we
we
have
have
to drop stealth to refuel anyway.
I kind of feel like we need to do that in case we have to get out of here. So even if we can get a partial refueling before we hit go, because we could also go to the next place over here, which is also has a gas giant.
Well,
If I'm just saying, I'd like to be able to get out of here in case things go sideways.
I agree, but I'm wondering if maybe that they can't see us either. Like maybe they're, maybe they're, if they're using similar artifacts to see what's happening around, maybe they're seeing my artifact and thinking that we're one of them. So they're forming up behind us.
Could be, but either way, it means that the stealth is useless here.
I'm in favor of dropping it. Seems no reason to keep ourselves hidden. If it's not
Right,
doing us any
I'll
good.
go get in the turret. We're gonna go wander over to the. Oh, everybody get in your vac suits.
Have you finished?
Yeah. You basically just stripped. They're a little bulky, but I stripped everything off of them that powers it and stuff, and because you can basically break it down. Yeah, they're fine.
Good. Okay, so we'll put on one of the
Anti-mind controlled suit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's drop stealth then. Let's greet our new neighbors.
I am going to go to the turret.
Okay.
Get everything warmed up just in case.
Okay.
I suggest we keep going towards refueling. You know, it's just because.
Yes, it seems perfectly logical.
Mm-hmm.
So we head towards get the giant.
Okay.
Begin the refueling process.
Okay. And it basically one of the ships. It's following you, but it's like not even gaining on you. It's like losing ground.
Okay.
They're not like following you in an aggressive way.
Not in hot pursuit. Just,
And every like couple minutes, they send those 6 pings out again.
Anybody tried analyzing that spectrum that they're on there? Obviously, it's cutting through our stealth. Maybe we could use this to our advantage.
well, we're getting it off the little antenna that we're
Yeah,
sending
it's
out.
coming off the antenna.
That's
But
why
we're
it's-
out of stealth now, right? Didn't
Yeah.
you guys drop it?
Oh, there's actually a visual flash now too.
Okay.
So it's like across an extremely broad spectrum.
So now that I'm in the turret, is there any way to get a readout on, zoom up and get a readout on, and see? I don't know if the turret sense give me, battle statistics and
Well, it can identify the
distance
ship.
and- okay.
It can identify the ship. It gives you all the rest of the stuff you usually get. Distance and vector and speed and all.
Is there any idea what its propulsion is?
It's using a typical maneuver drive like you guys have, which is like some sort of like a low power ion drive, and it's using fusion.
There's no markings on these ships at all.
Sure. Oh yeah.
They're just not a make that we recognize.
Right.
There's all kinds of writing on them.
But it's not Terran.
No.
There's no symbols like.
There's
What are the name of the 2 groups on the crystal squirrel planet?
no, nothing like that.
Okay.
Children of Caliban.
Right. The children of Caliban, and then the Christian Judea's front, or the Judea front of yeah.
The People's Front of Judea.
That's it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the International
Yeah.
Association of Xenobiologists.
I was exactly, that's what I was trying to do.
Or, you know.
Or the other one. Did I write them both down? I think at some point I actually wrote them both
She
down.
did. That's why I was asking her.
Yeah, I think we're going to quickly go and refuel. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
We're refueling.
Okay. So yeah, you go get to the, and you sort of dip down into the upper atmosphere of the gas giant, and then you basically drop something like a snorkel down that picks up the hydrogen, and then it has to refine. It takes a while. It takes hours to fill your ship up. So, and during that time, they're repeating these
Over and
6
over again.
things. Yes.
No. Well, I guess we're just going to hold tight until we're refueled.
Okay.
While we're doing that, like I guess I will analyze the data we're getting from these pings.
Okay.
Sensors again?
Sure.
6, 7.
The only thing you can really tell is that it's an extremely broad spectrum. They're trying to basically they're broadcasting the signal over as wide a spectrum as possible to get any sort of to make sure that any kind of sensor or something is going to pick it up.
Okay.
And I mean, literally, like your like if you're wearing like personal communicators, it shows it. It's
Interesting.
It's showing up on them, on your like tablets and stuff like that. It's showing up on everything.
Well, we might. I mean, once we're refueled.
Might as well then say hello, and if it gets hairy, we can escape rather quickly.
Exactly.
Definitely want him to be seen.
So they definitely want something from us.
Do the symbols on this ship look anything like the symbols on my artifact?
No.
Does it look anything like? Because I spent a bunch of time looking at all the stuff they collected when they went
Right.
on the alien ship. Does any of it look like that?
Not really. I mean, you can see vague similarities, maybe a couple of characters, but I mean, it certainly doesn't. I mean, it would be like having two languages that use like a pictogram. I mean, it'd be like similarities between like Chinese and Japanese, maybe.
Okay. Or like when we look at like Russian, there's a couple characters we
That
recognize.
look like
Yeah,
an
that
English
looks like
alphabet.
an A.
Right.
Okay.
It's a backwards R.
Yeah.
Right.
Stuff like that. Okay. All right. This is going to sound a little crazy. I'm wondering if this is a new group that we haven't met before. I don't think that this necessarily is the group that's attacking 70 Obiuchi. Perhaps this is a group that's trying to warn people to stay away from there.
Could be. The fact that they haven't opened fire on us is a good sign.
They're
Or
obvious.
or attempted to, mind control us. Not that we would know, actually, in here, would we?
No.
Well, then let's hail them and see what happens.
All right. Can I run electronics computers to try to determine what would be the correct response to this? Like the most diplomatic response, like through an encryption or whatever, like trying to suss out.
Sure.
See,
Well, do you have diplomacy?
I do have diplomacy, but I was trying to use computers to
Okay.
decode what the
Okay.
correct response would be. But yeah, I have diplomacy to actually send it. I was trying to get a bonus on what would be the correct
Okay.
form of address. 7, and I'm using education. That's a 9.
Okay. Well, there's not a lot to go on because it's literally just giving you 6 pulses,
Right.
and then there's a period of time, and we'll say it's 4 minutes and 8.3 seconds before they send another one. So
Okay.
it's some arbitrary but standard position of time. Then that doesn't seem to be the relevant thing. I don't know. You probably your inclination is to send back the same reply,
Yeah,
almost as an
which
acknowledgement.
is kind of what I'm thinking. Okay. I will then send that reply.
Okay. You send that, and then it sends back one pulse, and then it waits, and then it sends 2 pulses, and it waits, and it sends 3 pulses, and it waits, and it sends 4, all the way up to 6.
Okay.
So does it go 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, beep, 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 beep.
Perhaps it's testing how smart they are.
Yeah, I mean, a simple call and response would be if you don't speak the same language, or if you don't know the language that you're attempting to communicate with.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'll send the same message back. Beep,
Okay.
beep, 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 etc. And see what the response is.
Sorry.
We're streaming.
We are?
No.
Okay. Do you have computers?
I do.
It sends back a signal, but this signal is fast.
Okay.
And basically, you capture it, and you can look at it and see what it is. Make a computer's roll
Okay.
with int.
With int. Okay. That's 9.
Okay. It's basically giving you like a shorthand for how the symbols they're using for numbers.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's like
Like a Rosetta Stone?
no, it's almost like a video codec. They're sending you here's how we're going to display numbers to you visually.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Not entirely.
It's basically like they're giving you their version of ASCII. You know what I'm talking about? The 8x8 when you use binary,
Yes. Okay.
and they're basically saying, here's how we're organizing the mathematics we're about to send you.
Okay.
All right. It's also in base 6.
Okay.
It's not in base 10. So you probably need computer help, because unless you're a mathematician, it's like, what? Base 6. So it's basically it starts sending you information so that they can communicate visually is what they're doing.
Okay.
And they're basically sending very rudimentary pictures of symbols that represent the numbers.
Okay.
And then they start sending you math problems.
Oh, good.
Simple math problems.
Okay.
Even better.
But this is basically what they're doing is they're testing to see
Intelligence.
if they're really communicating.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right.
Or if they're just sending,
Or
copying them.
Or just not, yeah. So they send you a couple of math problems. You probably need to get a calculator or something out because it's in base fucking 6.
Well, I'm sure the ship runs at least Windows 10. I'm sure I have a calculator on the desktop.
You have computers. You can run this all through the computer.
Yeah,
right?
that's the plan.
And essentially, I'll kind of fast forward a little bit here. It gets to the point where you are communicating visually with them now, and after you get through the mathematics part of it, then it starts sending you information to be able to send and receive video back and forth.
Okay.
So that will require you to make a computer's roll to like get your computer to understand. Okay, you're going to start transmitting, and it's like the difference between NTSC and PAL, right? So you're going to have to translate from the video that you use into what they're using.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Come on, computers. Let's re-roll that one. That's a
Boom.
10.
Okay. So you do that, and then it starts sending you what looks like photographs, and some of them look like photographs from Earth. There's like pictures of like various indigenous animals to Earth, and then it starts they start to. How did they phrase it? Basically, they send you a message. This is written. It says, "Sending picture transmissions. Designate."
Okay.
So it wants to know if we're from Earth or not.
And so
It seems to be, yeah.
it sends like a picture of a star,
Okay.
and it's not necessarily Sol. It's just a star, and then it's like they're waiting for a reply.
Great, it's a star.
Basically, is my. That is a star.
Okay, and then you can do this verbally.
Okay.
And basically, it starts showing pictures, and like 2 or 3 hours have gone by, and it's starting to get kind of tedious.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of pictures of things, and it starts kind of having pictures of like concepts, and then it has like facial expressions, and it's showing you humans.
So it's learning the language.
Right.
Okay.
Basically,
I'm with you now. Okay.
and after a while, you're going to just kind of get a little fatigued.
Yeah.
And you may want to have someone else take over.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll do
Shari?
it.
Oh.
Okay. So you see, and you're getting more and more things, and it's showing some of them are difficult to. The expressions are easy because they're people, and you can figure out what the expressions are supposed to be. But some of them, it seems like they're asking. It's like interactions between people, and you're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Like two people holding hands. Is that affection? Is it protection? You know what I mean? And things like that. So
it's gonna be like when you have like a basic primer workbook for learning a new language,
Right.
And you're like, oh, great, identify the situation, needs context.
exactly right.
Good emojis can mean all kinds of things in context.
Oh sure,
An
absolutely.
eggplant is not just an eggplant.
Eggplant.
So
And
so
it's not brown pudding.
you do this, and there's some of the pictures are like from human history as well, and so you're doing this for like 4 or 5 hours until you start to get kind of fatigued about it. Do you want to pass it on to someone else? Do you want to just push
Yeah, I
through?
want to see what Riley does with this.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. 0 education should be great.
No, that's,
I didn't have to make a single roll.
No, I know.
no.
I was a little
What?
disappointed, actually.
You can make rolls if you want.
I think.
We'll just give Riley a section for barnyard animals.
Yeah, Stu just assumed your competence. That can't be assumed with Riley. Pyramids are made to match the pattern of Orion's belt directly during.
No, it's literally showing you pictures and wanting like a description
Okay.
of what it is.
Okay,
But it's like a smiling person.
that is a smiling person.
Things like that.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
They might be hiding something. I won't say that. I'm going to do my best.
They're smiling because they know the truth.
Yeah.
Or they've been brainwashed into
Some
complicity.
good people.
Sheeple.
Sheeple.
Or they're devotees of the smiling god.
Yes,
Right.
Bless you.
So you do it again for several hours, and then you probably start to get a little fatigued or
Okay.
bored.
You can talk back to us? Hello? Okay.
There's no response. They're just sending. It's a picture. As soon as you say something, it
It
goes
sits.
away, and yeah, you might screw up a couple times. It's like I'm not sure what that is. Bloop, it goes away, and another one comes
Okay.
up.
I definitely
So
do
now
that.
somewhere, right? So now somewhere in their vocabulary is, I'm not sure what that is, and it actually means some very specific things.
Or, they extrapolate,
Right.
I don't know, from...
Eventually,
Yeah.
they'll probably be able to do
I
that.
heard a story that's the word kangaroo came from that. We're like, what's that? And they go, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway.
Yeah.
So
needs
after,
context.
Yeah, that's
yeah. So this literally will go on for like a day.
Okay.
So I'm sure everyone's going to take a shift at some point. And then, probably most people on the ship end up taking a shift at some point. And then you're back on shift, and it sends another message. And it says, "We are Tobantu," and this is an audio message. It's very obviously a computer-generated voice. We greet humans with laughing.
Sorry.
Old species is awake.
I'll say.
War, famine, pain, crying, it begins. Must warn.
Yes, we kind of gathered that from the whole enslaving an entire system bit that they've just done. Do you know how to stop them?
Send human to us. Talking to Ubuntu will mind talk faster.
Oh, I'm definitely doing this. Psionics it's my jam. Sorry.
Kind of is.
You
huh?
get a cult. I get psionics.
Riley cannot argue with that as much as she wants to. She's like, yeah,
It's fine.
you literally have
You
the,
get a
the
cold,
brain.
you
that's
get
swollen.
psionics.
Yeah.
I get to play bushy with some guards.
Okay.
Oh, she needs a bodyguard. She needs a buddy.
We don't know if we want to send someone over there armed. That might send the wrong message, no?
I can go unarmed. I can still defend her. If she's in, yes, I'm a Marine. I'm sure I can do some hand-to-hand combats. Adding S's to everything. And
Like Squirrely Dance.
yeah, I know. So annoying. The sushi.
God. The sushis and
The
sashimi.
sushis. Sorry. Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Letterkenny. It's so
Are
bad.
you watching that now too?
Yes. I can't stop doing it. It's not. Yeah. It's a
It's
thing.
not even good, but you're watching it.
Oh, it's good.
It's good, but
It's
you just have to
good.
give it time to like grow on you like mold.
You gotta let that one marinate.
Oh,
A little paint around that one a little bit.
Yeah.
sad now.
I can go unarmed, but I feel like, I mean, last time she tried psionics with an alien being, it didn't turn out so great. Someone's got to be over there to pull her back, hopefully.
Really does bring up a good point.
Yes.
If you're
Yes,
fine
it
with it.
makes sense to me.
Yes.
Okay.
And, you know,
You should take your
having Riley at my
just
back
take your
makes
thing
sense.
with you and see if they have any insights in it.
I'm
Well,
gonna, no,
Yes.
that thing does not leave the ship.
I think that we should perhaps, they don't seem to like the ancient ones much. Being like, hey, we are.
We brought this homing beacon that will lead the enemy straight to you. Doesn't
Perhaps.
seem like the overture of friendliness that we would like to convey.
Yes. Right. That.
I am
Also,
going to
they
bring the
might take
helmet.
it. Oh, good plan.
Okay. So you guys didn't take the ship's boat over? Okay.
I'm trying to think. I don't want us all to go, but maybe having someone who's good at talking would be a good situation. I love you, but you're not necessarily the best one with your words.
I like to think that I'm concise and to the point.
And look what has gotten us thus far.
Well, I mean,
I'm not the one that incited an entire planet to riot, mind you.
But would you have, given the opportunity?
I mean, what purpose would it serve?
well, we may at this point, perhaps they're the only ones left fighting the alien beings, so they might actually be the people who saved this whole thing, my cult. Or maybe they helped sell out their planet. I don't know, but that's unimportant right now.
But right now we need to figure out if these people know how to stop
Right.
that. Well, what I'm assuming is the ancients.
Right.
Or at least a force of the ancients.
Right. I'm pretty sure that the people who confuse happy with laughing aren't going to be real up on their semantics, so it may not matter too much what we say as long as it's really simple. So simple and to the point might be a better thing.
Well, keep a comm open. I'd like to at least be able to hear what they're saying.
Oh, sure.
Or at least what they're showing you, because I won't be able to hear what they're telling you in your mind.
Yeah, definitely. We'll keep a comm open.
Right.
Okay. So you guys take the shuttle over, and the ship sort of turns around, and then like a docking thing opens up, and their ship is slightly bigger than yours. So, and it rather than trying to mess with airlocks and things like that, you can just park it inside. You guys wore back suits, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Did you wear the special back suits?
well, that's what we had on.
Okay.
So when we exit the ship, boat, whatever, is there breathable atmosphere for us on the ship?
Well, you go inside, doors close, it pressurizes, and it looks none of the red or orange lights are going off as far as atmosphere goes.
Usually a good sign.
Right.
I brought whatever the little recording device was that I used to film the hologram from my secret object. I totally brought that future iPhone, whatever it is. with
Okay.
me.
That's a name for
Space
that.
pad.
No, there's a name for that. We'll get it out.
So, Riley, I think it's best if
Data
you
pad.
keep your vac suit on and sealed up.
All right.
I'm going to open up to communications.
All right.
Okay, so your ship lands inside, the air pressurizes, and a door opens, and a rather large reptile, like analog, comes in, and it looks almost like kind of dinosaurish almost. It has 4 limbs with 3 fingers on each one. They're all opposed.
Wait, it has 4 arm-like limbs, or does it have 4 limbs too that it's walking on?
F-O-R-E. 4 limbs.
Oh.
It has 2 big legs that it's walking on, and then it has 4 limbs with 3 fingers on each one.
It has T-Rex arms.
They're a little bigger than T-Rex.
Kinda
And it
raptor
doesn't have
arms?
the big head. It doesn't have the big head.
So a little more functionally proportional.
Way more functionally proportional.
Okay.
But they also have a tail, and it looks like as it's moving in, it's kind of uses the tail kind of to help propel it.
Oh.
Cool.
So
Does it look like the reptile thing we found on the ancient ship?
it looks a lot like that. The 2 that you found in that one space up in the front.
The
near
one
the
that
front
she
of
decapitated, take the helmet.
Yes.
I mean, technically, it just took the helmet and the head fell off. It's not really my fault.
Oh, and you brought the helmet with you.
Yes.
Nice.
And it walks up. Let me give you a little more.
By the way, it's just called a mobile comm. That's what Traveler calls any communication, personal communication.
It's like we call a pocket
Are you
computer
streaming?
a phone.
Can I follow you on Twitch from the ship?
I'm probably not streaming. I'm probably recording. It's ICOM. No,
I mean, you could just calm back to the ship, right? I mean, I'm assuming if that's going to be a mobile communications device.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Okay.
I mean, unless they've got shields or something that are blocking it.
Right, but let's see what's going on if possible.
It has it comes up to where the entrance of the ship is, and it looks like it's trying to emulate a smile, which is kind of terrifying on this thing because it has like its upper and lower mandibles have like a plate that's sort of serrated.
Real question: what dinosaur does it look like?
It doesn't really look like a dinosaur. It just has that sort of shape of like a T-Rex.
I feel lied to.
Well, that's about as close as it gets. It's not. I mean, it's not.
So it's not like sharp teeth. They're like
It's like plates with serrations on them.
So it's like a whale
they're
mouth.
herbivores.
Kind of.
It's like a whale mouth.
It's like the brontosaurus teeth that you see in like the omnivores and the herbivores.
And there's other things that have that kind of thing too. I'm trying to think what it is off the top of my head. Turtles, yeah.
Okay.
Lockjaw.
And but it looks a little terrifying when it smiles. But it looks like it's trying to emulate a smile. And you're still inside the ship.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk out.
Okay. And it's set. Where is it? It says, and it's trying to talk, and it sort of talks like this because it doesn't have
Same vocal
doesn't have
cords?
lips, so it's having trouble doing it. I am Tobantu mastered talking, and it bows to you.
Your effort in learning our language is much appreciated.
Good job.
Riley, shut it.
It's on the ship. Couldn't send our master talker.
Maybe our master talker should have become a master in hand-to-hand combat.
And it says, you lose protection. We mind talk.
And so I take the helmet, I open up the vac suit, so,
Okay. And then basically your head is filled with word pictures. And now there's no communication barrier now at all.
great.
I should actually make sure that yes, okay.
And that little psionic gland grew 3 sizes that day.
Good thing there was already some space mated there.
And the gist of what it's telling you is that there is a race they refer to as the Elders.
Is that the ones that were controlling your people on the larger ship?
Many, many millennia ago, yes.
That ship's active again. I'm going to send it the pictures of 70 OPG that I've gleaned from the video that they took.
I
was in a coma.
We have seen signals indicating that an Elder ship woke. So this confirms what we've seen. And there's no words.
I know.
Just going to lean back and give thumbs up.
Okay.
When you respond, do you say it out loud, or is it all in your head?
Well, it's kind of hard to right now, but I'm going to try to. But right now I'm just telling it what we already know.
He tells you that the Tobantu were one of many servitor races of the Elders.
We found 3 others.
There are
2
dozens.
others? Oh, okay.
There are dozens across the galaxy before they left.
So they left, they didn't die out.
Some died. Most fled. They released...
The quantum bots.
Yes. And the quantum bots evolved out the kill switches that were put in place to make them safe to use. And you can kind of see it's putting evolved in quotes because it's not quite evolution, but
But they definitely bypassed the safety precautions.
yes.
Because if there's anything you know about bioengineering viruses, it's that they always totally stay within acceptable parameters once they get breeding.
Right.
And I'm going to say out loud, apparently there were dozens of races that the elders, the ancient ones, enslaved using their mind control. And our old friends, the quantum bots, were why most of them fled the known space.
So do you believe that the awakening of these elders is the reason quantum bots opened up on that space station?
Doubtful, because those were nanobots. Those were nanobots triggered to...
They were nanobots encasing quantum bots.
Yes, but they were nanobots triggered to open when someone examined them too closely. That was a bomb. That was a bomb that got sent to that space station. But I am going to ask the Tobantu Master Talker.
Mm-hmm. Tobantu Master Talking.
Sorry, Tobantu Master Talking. It's so where has your race been all this time?
Well, we have been here. We have avoided contact. Some other species are very warlike, and we find it best to stay away from them.
Yeah, I can see where you get that impression.
But this is a much greater threat.
How do we stop them? Also, it didn't appear that there was anything actually living on the ship when we boarded it.
That ship has self-repair capabilities, and there was probably an elder in the sepulcher deck being kept in stasis.
So as soon as the ship was repaired enough,
It woke.
defrosted
Yes.
the elder. Is the elder what liquefied all the people?
That was. Well, you described that to him because
I'm going to show him.
Right.
I was there.
Says
So I was watching all
was
that.
probably the automated systems deploying nano weapons to protect the ship. The biggest problem with it being out in the middle of nowhere for so long is the fact that its repairs are eventually going to require more mass. Because as things break down, it's got to be able to fabricate new stuff. So probably the ships studying it were the mass it needed to become fully operational again. It has been there in dead space for a very, very, very long time.
Okay. So now that it's operational and the elder's awake, and this is something beyond anything that my race has ever encountered before, this level of psionic control is something we as a race have not even dreamed of yet. We're in psionic infancy.
Our observations have shown that there's some quite advanced techniques being practiced in your societies.
Ooh, where?
And you get impressions of a couple of planets, Terra being one of them, and one in Chinese space, and also one in EU space, where there are basically there's not a huge amount of detail, but you are definitely getting pictures of people actually being able to like telekinesis, and in one case, someone actually being able to teleport themselves short distances.
Awesome.
And they tell you, Tobantu Mastered Talking tells you that the Tobantu were the emissary race of the elders.
Were they the Silver Surfer?
The Silver Surfer? I don't know what Silver
Yeah.
Surfer. No. Well, they were in charge of communications.
The harbingers. It's like, hey, they're coming.
No.
No?
More like they're there to make sure that they're communicating accurately, and also making sure that peace is monitored and kept.
It's kind of the administrators of.
Basically.
Got it, okay.
And they are
Mouthpieces.
the Tobantu are very psionically talented, but second only to the elders.
Okay. So those are very isolated instances. The vast majority of my people don't have those kind of capabilities, nor do they even know that they exist. Is there anything that you, like, we need to protect our people?
You have shielding technology.
And
It is most effective.
the level of shielding that's on this ship and these suits would be effective for...
Oh, yes.
But that doesn't... They have these the weapons that they have.
They were a very advanced culture. Also very cruel. But and they did not share their technology with their servitors. We were very isolated in what we were allowed to know, and that goes for all of the species that served the elders.
And you didn't find anything in the in-between, in the millennia since they left?
Well,
No
we have-
advancements?
We had to rediscover interstellar travel on our own. We did not even know.
So was that limited?
There was not a Tobantu who knew how jump drives worked.
Okay. How would we shut down the ship?
The problem that the elder, we think this is come on, I wrote all this down. We believe it stands victorious in the face of unrelenting foes.
Oh, good.
It stands victorious in the face of unrelenting foes.
Oh, great.
He was
So we'll be a real pushover then.
he was one of their leaders. Perhaps one of the more dogmatic, which may be why it decided to stay rather than flee with the rest of its species.
Well, you don't think he'll... There's no way he would bring them back, right?
Well, he would make more.
Make more elders?
Yes. That would be...
His first priority?
Yes. He is very limited. He's only one. And as one, his influence is extremely limited. He will want many. He cannot control star systems without many.
He kind of seems to be.
One star system.
Oh, great. Well, that's reassuring anyway. Will you fight them with us?
We can help. We can't go toe to toe with them in a fight. Not with that ship. That ship is extremely powerful.
But there was another race. We called them lurkers.
You can probably show a picture of the
Picture
data
of
pad.
the On the ship, on the elder ship that we saw. I'm gonna call him Vicky. Because that's a really long name. On Vicky's ship, there were bays and bays of the bodies of this. They seemed like a soldier race.
Yes, those are the Kaba.
We know of.
They are also psionic, but only in numbers.
Yes, that we found out recently. They are now spacefaring. Do they support the elders, or would they fight them with us?
They were the elders' shock troops.
But now they were.
It has been 1,000 millennia. Who I cannot say. They may still be loyal. Certainly, if the elder could get within range of them,
He could force it upon them.
absolutely, and reorder their minds so that it would not be his presence would not be necessary for them to follow orders.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
They are malleable.
What about the monkeys?
They're they exist today. They are on our ship as well.
Are they still engineers?
Yes.
What do they call themselves?
They do not have a name for their species. They do not have a verbal language. They communicate telepathically. You could call them monkeys.
I'm going to.
We call them engineers.
So they're grease monkeys.
Aw. Okay. Well, this has been enlightening. I would like to go back and confer with the rest of the people on my ship to form some kind of plan. How to move forward. If I need to speak with you again, would I need to come here to mind talk with you? Or if I remove the shielding, if I go outside of the ship's shielding, would that be enough?
We must be within proximity.
I also have this helmet.
Oh. He kind of looks at it, and there's like a slightly concerned look. Those are bad.
Yeah.
That is what the elders use to ensure our loyalty.
Oh, sorry to bring up bad memories.
It should be destroyed. It is a dangerous thing.
So what kind of proximity?
It tells you basically within like a kilometer.
Yeah, so basically we'd have to take the boat out.
Or be close enough, have the ship close enough, and just, step outside the airlock.
Okay, cool. So, we'll contact you again. Currently, the Elder ship is at these coordinates, these star coordinates. He's pretty much... I think he's gotten the entire system. Like that.
He would.
Yeah. They're working on building something, which, from what you said, seems like it would be
more elders.
More elders. How long does that process?
If he has to use humans to do it, it will take some time. If he's using his repair drones from his ship, it could be built in months. I would say a year if he's using humans.
It's probably a combination.
Probably. If his ship is fully functional, he doesn't need them.
The repair drones were... There were a lot of extras when we were on there. Backups upon backups.
Yes. I would say months. 2 to 3 months. And he will begin producing elders. They will be fully grown.
Okay. Well,
once he has copied his mind, they can then proceed independently.
Wait a minute. So he has to copy his mind onto the new elders?
Yes.
At the end of the process?
Yes.
Okay. So they will all be Vickies?
They may take on different names depending on the deeds they perform in their lives.
But they'll all think like Vicky.
Yes, but victorious in the face of unrelenting foes will likely modify the copy so that they do not become too independent.
Okay. So he'll still be top dog.
I would think he would go to great lengths to ensure that.
Well, thank you very much to Bantu Master Talking. We will return.
I am smiling to meet you.
Happy to meet you as well.
Happy.
And
I'm smiling to happy.
I'm sure that we will have more to discuss later. If you have any questions about our species.
Oh, we've been watching.
Not reassuring. Best for talking. So, we're gonna...
Riley waves. Okay. Yeah.
It's going to be the most boring videotape to watch ever. So it's just sort of... and it's
With
just
eyebrows
quiet.
going up and down.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just
it's
quiet.
It's the first recording of
Yeah.
alien life, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting no matter what. Now I can put music over it without ruining anything.
Great. So I'm just going to pass along. Oh, yeah, no. Everything is terrible.
Oh, but you're okay.
I'm fine. We should probably actually destroy this element.
Okay. All right.
Apparently its sole purpose was to ensure the elders had complete control over the Tabantu.
Yes, so I think this is a good idea.
Oh, that's
Um,
bad.
Yeah. So, if someone in the engineering department can take it apart and figure out if there's anything good, salvageable, useful.
I'm not really an engineer. Turns out. I just hung out there for brewing.
Attila. We have Attila the engineer.
Oh, that's true.
I'm sure that they can disassemble a helmet,
Oh, sure.
especially
Like salvage something, anything.
yeah.
Anything salvageable?
Oh, yeah. Well, there is like sonic shielding integrated into it as well.
Yeah, we need that. We need
And
all of that.
it's
that we
actually probably more efficient than what you guys have.
can get. Awesome. So the shielding that we have on the ship in the suits is enough, according to Devontae, to be effective against. It stands victorious in the face of unrelenting foes. Who's
Oh,
the
good.
elder?
I
Who's
was
apparently.
It was going to be, Keith.
Yeah. I'm just gonna call it Vicky from now on.
I like that plan.
But we need to make as much shielding as possible.
So it would stand to reason we should contact whoever created the ship.
Maybe the wolf.
He might know.
I mean, won't it be whatever's in common with... I mean, the mech suits have it as well. So it's not something that's necessarily the part of the high-tech part of this ship.
It's something that they've integrated into all the things on this ship. But if I had to guess, the way that military conglomerates work, Ustas isn't the only people with this technology.
No.
And we need a coordinated effort.
We don't have time, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We have
Is that
3 months, and that's a guess.
we need to get Exodus on coordinating the effort of protection and making more of the shielding to protect as many people as they can and to protect as many people as we can while we sabotage the efforts of Vicky to make more
Yeah.
I know I'm going to
elders.
be seen as uncouth by saying this, but perhaps it's really our only option.
If we wear our suits, we can get aboard that ship without him affecting us.
And do what?
Kill him.
How?
I don't know. Is he vulnerable to anything?
Don't know, but
Do we even know what he looks like?
we can ask. I didn't actually ask about what he looked like.
You know,
I
he
was kind
won't
of like
be.
floored by the whole Elder's been in stasis for millennia, and his ship has been self-repairing in the meantime, and an entire ancient race fled because they created a horrific universe-destroying weapon
No.
that they then couldn't control.
Is whatever is it in the ship? I think we might have talked about this already, but I don't remember. Is it in the ship's hull that is the thing that's blocking, or is it our actual shields?
It's the hull.
Okay. What if we got enough of this stuff? If we put it in little tiny bits and we just released it in 70 Obiuchi, I mean, does it have to be solid to block the signal? If there's enough of it, would it cause interference?
Well, let's say that does work. Let's say that we're able to create this shielding, this netting around the planet that would cut off the psionic abilities. What's then to stop this Elder from releasing the nanotech
I mean,
to destroy
the quantum
shielding?
bots would destroy everything. He does not actually have a way to stop them.
Yes, but we do.
We do?
The antimatter weapon?
Yes, but, like, I mean, mutually assured destruction aside, Vicky wants to take back control of this system and all the systems surrounding it. Vicky wants to take back control of known space. Our known space.
So perhaps it's better to sacrifice this one system with an antimatter weapon to stop him now before he creates an entire army of elders and we can't stop them at all.
I mean, do we even know that will stop him, though?
It's antimatter. Have you seen it not stop something before?
Well, no, but I've only seen it used once, and
Wait.
that is the same scientist who said that mind control wasn't a thing.
But also, before we annihilate a solar system, maybe that's our plan Z. I mean, I can't believe I'm the one telling you this, but
Believe me, I wouldn't have brought it up. I thought we had another option.
I think we could, maybe it's possible to figure something out. We've got time. Not a lot of time, but we have some time. And we have, currently, the only known immunity to Vicky's
Yes, but
weirdly fuzzy universe domination.
But no immunity to the quantum bot, which is his main weapon.
It's not his main weapon.
It's his only weapon, really.
It's his weapon of last resort, the same as it is ours. He cannot control the quantum bots. From what Tabantu told me, the reason why there are no other elders in this system is because they cannot control the quantum bots. He will not release them as a frontal assault because it will destroy him as well as us.
But isn't that what he did to the Crick? When the ship got back up and running, it attacked the Crick, it attacked the science vessel, to take them for spare parts to finish repairing the ship.
That was not quantum bots.
It was the quantum bots.
It wasn't the quantum bots. It was nanobots. That was an auto. From what I understand, that was an auto, like, defense mechanism to, and also to gather more parts from the ships, not the organic matter. They didn't need the organic matter, but that wasn't the quantum bots. That was nanotech, which we have. And we can counter nanotech if we know it's there. It's the quantum tech we can't counter, but neither can he. So if we can get to him before he pulls the plug on some mutually assured destruction.
Yes. There's two options. We either go in and take him out ourselves, or we try to get a small army. If we can get a couple of these helmets made, we can drop them on Li Ping and maybe some other people, and we can at least have some support other than just us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We also
need some help.
have the luxury of knowing more than he knows, and also without being under his control. We also have the luxury of being able to stealth in and out. Whether he knows we're there or not, I'm not sure if his human thralls will be able to track us either.
I mean,
through our stealth.
If what were they called?
Tabantu?
Tabantu, yeah. Or if the Tabantu were able to notice us, and they're about at our tech level, I think it's probably safest to assume that he can see us plain as day.
I think he might be able to, but if he's going to rely on all those human ships to track us down, they can't. Unless he's going to constantly talk to every single person and tell them where we are. I can't imagine that they have any way of sensing us other than through him.
Or unless they have statues like me.
Well, we didn't see
so
any
anyway,
of those on the ship when we
have
went through.
No, and you
all the
actually specifically
information.
looked for some
Yeah.
stuff like that. You did not.
We
see
looked
that.
for.
So it seems to me we could get onto his ship fairly easily, either stealthing in or whatever, because especially if he's busy trying to control and build his elders, we might be able to get on, track him down, and kill him. Or we can try to get together an army of people that aren't being influenced by him and ostensibly set up a home world defense system as such as it is. And perhaps we can bring the planetary defense systems to bear on him, keeping him busy as well with people that aren't affected by his tech. But we need to start building these psionic helmets or anti-psionic helmets somewhere.
While we're having this conversation, can we have asked Attila to do elements like breakdown of this, whatever this thing is in the helmets and in our ship, and seeing if there's any like metal alloy that they have in common that might be the thing that blocks the...
Oh, yeah.
Attila.
There absolutely is a commonality. It's just the stuff in the helmet from the Elder ship would probably be a lot easier to manufacture.
Okay.
You'd probably be able to manufacture it faster.
But it's just a better refined...
Yes.
Okay, sample of the same material.
Yeah, so you're seeing... Okay. Is this an electronic device thing, or is it a...
It's a metal. It's like an alloy.
It's like an alloy.
Okay.
It's a very thin layer
Or like iridium or something.
of something.
Okay.
A combination of different...
Unobtainium. MacGuffinite.
it's MacGuffinite.
MacGuffinite.
But it basically can block telepathic signals. Or disrupt them enough so that they're useless.
Well, that's harder then, because we need to mine this and refine it and then put it in a form that people can use or wear.
Yes, and it would have to be handed to each person.
Right.
And since they're all already under control, that's going to be difficult.
Well, that's why I'm saying that we need to get this information back to Terra
Yes, so they can
and have
start working on
Exodus working on this. Because they have the contacts and they have the manufacturing and they have the infrastructure to make that portion of it happen while we work on this immediate threat.
it. Yes. And if we fail, then the Earth will have at least some defense. Terra will have at least some chance of defending
Are
themselves.
the materials that make up this alloy by any chance materials they mine on Dolan's Peak?
Yeah.
Well, we know we can get the materials.
Yes, well. It's lovely to know that Ustas had
And
so transparent in there.
And Attila tells you
Meddling.
that you might be able to aerosolize it and put it in like the sand, because you have a defensive weapon called a sandcaster, which throws out like reflective material that disperses lasers. And he says it would be very temporary, but it might work as an aerosolized version as well.
Awesome. One of Riley's crazy theories panned out. Mark it on the calendar.
There's like a market every day.
Some days have two.
Yes. But if we might be able to put that out between the alien ship and our ships, like even if it's just for a few moments, they might be able to regain control of themselves. At least fast enough to jump out or something.
That's true. If we start broadcasting, jump coordinates, we do our sandcaster thing, they might have enough time to get out, come to their senses and jump. That would at least deplete or even hopefully get rid of his whole armada. That'll leave just him and his ship, which is formidable enough, but at least then we won't have to be worrying about thousands of ships chasing us down.
Right. And they might be able to, if we give them also the information about this alloy, if they have it somewhere on board already, they might be able to do something to help themselves.
And if
So-
we are able to get a helmet to leap in, we definitely need help on the ground.
But will she be able to control everyone else, even if she has control herself?
Maybe not, but at least then we'll have eyes on the ground.
That's true.
It's possible that there are some people there that already have this alloy already, for whatever reason. It's also possible that perhaps people deep in the ground aren't affected. It's really hard to say. There's some possibilities that there might be some people that And Li Ping might even, because she seemed to be pretty on top of this, might already be free of it if we want to try to contact her. She's already seems to be the expert in alien technology. She may have already prepared for this inevitability.
Well, being able to sense it is not the same as being an expert in it.
Yes, but it seems like...
And considering the warning she gave us about not using alien technology, I doubt she's really meddled with it much.
This is true. See, there are good things about testing things out and learning about them.
Yes, there's the moral take from this story, is that alien technology is the savior of all mankind.
Well, it might be at this point.
Also the reason why all mankind is in danger.
Well, no, I think that's the actual giant alien.
And the technology that Vicky has. Yes.
But it's not us using it that did it.
Yeah. No, you just gave him an armada.
We don't know that. We should ask the good talker if we know about the tech from the object.
Your object.
Yes. Just because, I mean, if it's a thing that's sending them information, no, it's bad. We need to figure out what to do with it. But if it's simply receiving coordinates and things, it might be a way for us to have some eyes on them.
Well, how do you feel about the way things went? Do you think we're in a good enough position with them to show them this?
Yeah, I mean, they know we were on the alien ship. There was actually quite a nice conversation once you get past the home.
The teeth.
Yeah. The smiling thing.
Well, perhaps we should do that. Think everything about the artifact, and perhaps get in contact with the people in Dolan's Peak if they have the materials to make this, and potentially to create the alloy out of the base materials. They are the closest, most likely, and the most able to do this in the amount of time we need it done.
Cool.
Perhaps we should have someone else go this time too, who also does not have a helmet, so that we can see if they can communicate with anyone or just certain people.
Sure. I mean,
Yes, I'm not opposed to meeting with them and finding out as much information as possible.
There's that moment of Riley, like, don't. Right.
that sounds like a fantastic idea. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing if they'd be. So far, we have only seen Tabantu Master talking. There must be others.
They may. Well, they said that they have the monkeys on board.
Yes.
Did you see any of them?
They stay in engineering, apparently. They only speak psionically. He told me we could keep calling them monkeys.
Well, that's good. I'd hate to, use the wrong term for them.
We also need to make sure the lurkers never get near the Elder.
Well, yes, I'd prefer the lurkers to never get near anything again.
Ideally. But speaking of Dolan's Peak, and our ship full of lurkers.
Well, hopefully the lurkers have gone by now.
Well, didn't you say that they used to be the slaves of the ancient ones as well?
Shock troopers. But the Elder has the ability to change their minds so that they'll operate on his orders even if they're not connected.
Oh. So like humans, I suppose. What if we had a whole army of lurkers with helmets on so he couldn't talk to them?
They wouldn't be able to talk to each other either.
That's true. But would they still keep their intelligence?
No.
No.
Because it's a psychic connection that
Had
generates
might.
that intelligence. Yeah.
What if they were all in a big ship together?
Yes, but they don't know. Tabanto wasn't sure where their allegiances are.
Well, I don't think they... I mean, it's been...
They may not have seen themselves as slaves, and they may still respect and want to serve the Elder. They just seem like a chaotic force.
Be fascinating to know if they even remember them, though. Because they've been in...
They
non-
made reference to the master's language.
Oh, that is true.
And refer to it as the master's language, not the oppressor's language. That seems rather telling.
That's true. Although, the lizard man did say he was laughing to see us. So perhaps it's simply the term that they still have for the ancient ones.
Either way. We should go back and ask Travantu about the things that we've discussed and send messages out to Dolan's Peak and to the wolf and see if we can get enough materials together, what we have on hand, to fabricate another helmet.
And the artifact. I hate to drag on this conversation a little bit longer, but do we know for a fact that the lurkers left Dolan's Peak in their ship? Because if we're sending a message to them about the ancient ones, the lurkers who are in the ship and super smart might get it as well.
Well, what we might be able to do is just route the information on Dolan's Peak to Exodus and have them contract, because they're going to have to contract Dolan's Peak to do this anyway. They're not going to do it out of the goodness of their hearts. Somebody's got to pay these people.
I mean, they are one jump away, so out of self-preservation, they may start focusing on it.
I mean, true, but at the same time, like, if somebody came at you with this story, would you believe them out of the goodness, like, out of pocket? So, but if Exodus contracts them to do it, we know for sure they will.
Yes. There's a moment of Riley going, "Has someone told me about this?"
If somebody told, say, Vesa about this,
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'll craft that message to the wolf, letting me know what's up, and also include as kind of a postscript. If things go sideways on this, be prepared to wipe the system with the antimatter weapon. Like, it's going to be better to wipe one system than try to fight them if they get any further.
Okay, so you craft the message. You will need to be in a populated system in order to send it.
That's
you have
fine.
to put it through the expo system. Because here you can't send it.
Right. So probably once we get to Dolan's Peak, I'll send it. But at least it's all crafted and ready to go, in case something happens to me.
Now you can make it to Dolan's Peak in one jump.
Yeah.
Well, wait. She wanted to go talk to
Yeah, we want to do one more.
talk to the Tabatu again. Before
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah. So, we're going to ask. So we'll go over.
Okay.
I think I would. I mean, are we taking the item?
Yeah, we probably want to show them the artifact if we're going to ask them about it.
Okay.
I'm going.
Although we can't just project the image.
Yeah, that was my thought at first. Because, like, we could just, like, hang out outside the ship and have a conversation about it. And if they want to see it more, then we can bring it over then.
That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I did tell them to expect us to just kind of
Pop in.
Float out there.
float out.
Okay. So you're just gonna? Are you going to go to their ship, or are you just going to?
We're going to float
Okay.
and, like, do the thing where,
Okay.
you know, we're not in the
I still
shielded.
hate this, but it's fine.
Are you going to take the ship's boat out, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, ship's boat, yeah.
Okay.
Better than...
Back suiting.
No.
No, I'm not getting tethered
No more
back.
spacewalks.
No more spacewalks.
While you're in orbit around a gas giant.
Right.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
that's where you still are.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We are smiling to speak with you again.
This is my associate.
It is wonderful to meet you.
It is smiling to meet you too.
We had further questions about this thing that my other associate has had. Mental image of the artifact and what it does and everything.
Okay.
Does this transmit information to Vicky?
We have not seen anything like that before. Most of the Elder technology was hidden from all servitor races, especially if it was advanced. If we could study it, we might be able to figure that out. But we are not familiar, our people are not familiar with what this is.
Okay. But you would have no objections to studying it?
No.
What do the elders actually look like?
They're small. They are. They were an aquatic race, similar to your cephalopods.
What are cephalopods?
So when you say small, these guys are like 12 feet tall, or
The Tobantu?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if the Tobantu were to
enough
stand
to
up on their tail,
Yeah,
they'd probably be about 10 or 12 feet
octopus
tall.
is
They're,
big.
they're huge. I mean, they're
I'm
probably
imagining mind flayers.
twice your mass.
okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. We were talking about how cephalopods are octopi and squid and stuff.
Yes.
And what did you say, size-wise?
No, well, the Tobantu are like
yeah.
probably at least twice the mass of an average
Okay.
human. They're big.
Okay.
So what small means to them.
Right.
Although they're
You can't give like
They're-
a mental picture?
they're transmitting this to you telepathically, so they're transmitting concepts, and you're probably getting a visualization of a size. But I mean, as far as like a visualization of what they look like, that was a long time ago, and none of these people have ever seen them. And I mean, all that, except for small, a few small examples, almost none of their technology has survived. So I mean, they literally went from a pre-Starfaring culture after the elders left, and had to basically invent everything themselves. So they don't have like access to old technology. It's, oh, here's what a picture of one of them looks like.
Okay. But basically, they were smaller and probably cephalopods.
Yes.
Cool.
They're Daleks.
I mean, basically. What other questions do we have?
Can they read their writing?
We have translators that can read some of it, yes. But our language that the elders had us use was not their language. But we have seen enough examples of it where we can kind of piece together what it is.
What are they vulnerable to? What was the other one?
Oh, yeah. How do we kill it? Anything specific?
Like anything else.
Great.
Salt. They're big slugs.
That's snails.
High energy, kinetic weapons, they are not invulnerable to.
A large rock.
Are they aquatic?
They were aquatic.
So they basically live in a big fish tank. So
So it's kind of like the face of Baal meets a Dalek.
but you could take them
Yes.
out of the water and they would die.
They use an encounter suit. At least they did.
Not picture that fish guy and
Well, I mean-
Despicable Me.
I mean, I'm assuming it's not like because Vicky is was frozen in time back then. It's not like he's had a chance to evolve. Anything he would have done seems like it's stuff that he would be doing now because
Yes, however, it knows that it's the only one now, so its priority is going to be its own personal protection more so than it normally would have been.
understandable.
Were without his shock troops, what would he use for defense?
Quantum tech.
Nanotech, yeah.
And they have the repair bots. They are capable of being aggressive. Not extremely effective, but
Progressive.
yes.
Well, and then there's the whole fleet of humans circling him under his command, too.
They also have the capability of being aggressive.
That's humans? No.
No.
Great. So, this alloy that provides the shielding that makes up. Do you have access to any of it?
Some.
We're going to attempt to infiltrate the system where Vicky is now and put in some, so we can get some eyes on the ground. And we would like to make helmets out of, protection on there to maybe sabotage some of the efforts of making more elders.
We could manufacture some. It would take us a few days.
Perfect. As many as we could get.
Sounds good to me.
Great. Do you know of any of the other servitor races who would join us in the fight? Who might be able to? That have gotten to our level of technology?
The two that our space borders with are too aggressive to be cooperative.
Great.
There's one other servitor species that is just outside of your Chinese space. They are difficult to deal with, but more advanced than we.
And what people are those?
The Ch'tal, TCH apostrophe TAL.
Which this is Chinese space?
TCH
Down there.
The
apostrophe.
blue, light
yeah,
blue.
the light blue.
Outside Chinese space. Do you think that they would communicate with humans if we attempted contact?
They're a paranoid race. They do not communicate directly with anyone. They use robotics and drones to communicate with other species.
Okay.
They were the Elders' engineers.
I thought the monkeys were engineers.
No, designers.
Oh. That could be very helpful. Especially if they hate the elders.
They may hate everyone.
Yeah, still works.
Great. It's an entire star system full of stews.
My shirt today says, I hate everyone.
And pants.
Thank you. If you think of anything else that might help, but the helmets.
Yes, we will construct them for you.
Thank you. And I suppose, if they could be less obtrusive, does it have to be a helmet? Could it be a diadem?
You would need coverage. But they do not have to. They could be a cap.
Yeah, something that's a little less obvious than wearing a vac suit helmet. Seems, and the less intricate the design is, it seems like the faster and easier it would be to mass produce for others.
Right.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Anything else?
I think it was it.
Oh, Anyone else willing to talk with us?
Oh, that's right.
How do you mean?
I mean, you were the master talking.
If you want to speak with someone else instead, you certainly
No,
may.
not instead, in addition.
How many souls are on board this ship?
On our ship, there's 130.
Is that the 212 and the monkeys?
Yes.
Or, I see. But how is that split? Like, what's the demographic?
About a quarter of the ship is engineers.
And your relationship with them is symbiotic, it appears. It's not like why after all these years have you two species remained together?
They are much more adept at building and repairing than are we, and we offer them protection from other species, and in return, they help us with things that they are more capable of performing.
That's grand. Always nice to hear people get along.
And they're cute as a bunch.
On stage.
Okay.
So we should just wait a few days for them to finish the helmets or the caps.
We
then
can tell Riley that they'd like to study the artifact.
Excellent. Can I go with it and study it with them?
Sure, just don't turn it on.
Okay.
I suppose, unless they ask.
It's like all she did they wanted.
Okay. So, when do you want to do that?
Immediately? Like right
Okay, all right.
unless they have unless there's
Is someone going to go with her, or is she going to herself?
I think she could go by herself.
Okay.
Do you want to go with? And then you can meet some of the scientist types instead of master talking?
May not be a bad idea. I can learn a bit more about the technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you two head over.
Yeah, we'll head over.
Same thing into the shuttle bay, and Tobantu mastered talking comes out and greets the two of you.
I'm holding my rock
Okay.
statue thing.
Right.
It's just smiling to meet you.
It is smiling to meet you. I am speaking your language.
Yes.
Good job.
He's an alien, not deaf.
I'm being clear.
You can read minds. I don't think it'd be that clear.
Oh yeah. She thinks really loudly. Good job.
Okay.
This is the artifact we wanted to take a look at. And perhaps while you weren't looking into that, I'd love to look over any technology that you'd be willing to share with us in an effort to help us prepare for this oncoming battle with the Elders.
Yes, I will take you to my commander, and he can discuss that thing with you, and then I can then take you to our scientists who will study the device.
That sounds lovely.
Nope, never mind.
Wow.
Well, no, you got to tell me what you're going to do.
I was gonna try and say hello in ancient,
Okay.
so I rolled 2 once.
Oh yeah, that's a bad roll.
Oh,
That's a bad roll.
no.
Riley says go fuck yourself to the Tomato. In perfectly enunciated.
But with a big smile on my face.
Right. They didn't understand what you said.
Oh,
The
this dice can go back.
yeah, you want to throw those away.
Yeah.
So they take you like into a hallway, and the hallways are huge because I mean
They're
these
big
things are
ol'.
big, and you're walking along, and the first thing that you know, this is the first time any of you are seeing more than one of them. They don't have social taboos. It's like right away.
They're just
There are no like restroom facilities. There's like literally a hole in the floor.
oh.
And in fact, Tobantu
mastered talking, says, "If you need to rock one."
Sorry.
Yeah, that is absolutely the slow pen.
It looked like a rock.
Good to know. Thank you for that information. I will keep that in mind.
And also, you notice that there are much smaller versions of the species here as well. So you head down the hallway, and they're all like looking at you very curiously and sort of stopping and doing some sort of head inclination thing that you think is probably a sign of respect, maybe.
Yeah.
And then they take you into what is clearly some kind of meeting room.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a far more serious and actually more threatening looking Tubantu here, who is probably almost a head taller than Tubantu talk.
So
mastered
size.
talking. Yes.
I'm starting to picture these people as Skeksis.
Oh yeah, a little bit, maybe. More lizardy, but
Without all the raggedy clothes, yeah.
Hello.
I'll take another one of these. I got one.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, you're all good.
Okay. This is Tubantu leading the ship.
Okay.
Oh.
And unless you want to try to resist, it's going to make a
No,
wake.
that's fine.
Okay.
I have no reason to resist.
So you two are now linked to him telepathically.
Lovely.
We can hear each other as well as them.
No, you can't hear each other.
Okay, good.
Oh
I mean, okay.
no. I'm smiling to meet you.
Hello.
We were hoping that you could perhaps walk us through some of your technology in a way to help us better prepare for the oncoming encounter with the Elder threat. In the meantime, I have brought my assistant, who is carrying around an artifact from the Elders that we would love to know exactly its purpose and if it is at all dangerous and if it should be destroyed.
Hello. This is my magic rock. I am the head scientist of studying this on my planets. I have come to share it with you. Hello.
He sort of reaches over and mutters something in obviously their language, and says, "I've sent for some engineers, and our technology sharing with other species, while it is done with great caution, and on a limited basis."
Completely understood. I only really want any information that'll better prepare us for encountering the Elder threat.
What do you have a plan to engage the Elder?
We have a plan to temporarily neutralize their telepathic link.
No.
No, he's not broadcasting to both of you at the same time.
Oh, okay. I thought we were both hearing him and not hearing each other. I was going to have way too much fun with that. I'm
That would be
sorry.
amazing. Yeah, so we're working on a plan to temporarily sever the telepathic link to the current slaves that they have taken from our race, and perform some kind of assault on them to prevent them from making more. But if there's anything that you can provide us with that would help either strengthen the severing that we're going to do, or to improve our own defenses once we encounter them, we'd be much appreciative.
Are you acting alone, or are you acting in concert with your government?
Well, we're hoping to be acting in concert with the government, but, you know, the government, it works at a snail's pace, and...
I can provide some limited help if it is just you. If it is in concert with your government, we could speak at a higher. We would need to speak at a higher level.
Understood.
Though the amount of assistance we could provide would be much greater.
So we need to get that message to the wolf quick. Perhaps it would be better then to wait and get confirmation that the government is helping. But
If not, I will do what I can.
It is good to know that we have a plan B.
It's kind of
But I mean, as far as like, if the government won't help, we can still get help from them. But yes, so this is the artifact. Please tell me it is dangerous and must be destroyed. But don't lie.
And the little monkeys come in, and they literally start taking the thing apart. Like literally, like they're looking at it, and like 2 or 3 of them, and like, and they start disassembling the thing. And then, and this takes like about 45 minutes.
Okay.
And it's literally all laid out in pieces, very meticulously set across this table.
Okay.
And then one of the engineers says something to the captain of the ship, and
Well, he's been filming if they're okay with that.
yeah, and the captain tells you this is a command device. It is used to keep track on a tactical and strategic level. There are pieces that you can place to monitor other systems.
So is it monitoring the system that is currently in, or is it pre-designated, I should say?
It will monitor the system it's in, but you can also put pieces, and it will transmit.
To just this device, or to...
Just this device.
Oh.
Well, they seem confident that it is just this device. However, this is a technology we do not understand. You know of no communication that's faster than light.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This would appear to be.
Oh, I see. Would there be a way for the elders to tap into this information were we to be using it? Basically work against us if we were to use this.
I can't guarantee that is not the case. That the elders were very secretive with their technology. It may be possible that they could tap into this, although the engineers say it seems to be a standalone thing.
Oh, that's good news.
Should we put it back together and turn it on? See what it does?
I don't. We can they will reassemble it for you. They have discovered how to turn it on, but I would not suggest doing that until we know for sure, because we may be giving the elders the location of 4 of our destroyers at this very moment, and your location.
Fine.
Well, at least they can put it back together for you.
Well, yes. Considering it is humanity's first sample of faster-than-light communication, it's probably important that it's, together.
And they put it back together.
Excellent.
And there's like 4 of them working on it.
Put it back together, right?
Looks right.
We'll look at it, because this is something I've looked at my entire life.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, but I don't know that as a character. She's
No.
gonna be scrutinizing. It looks fantastic to me.
Okay.
It's fine. My 7 is yeah.
Grand. Thank you.
It's a little bit cleaner than it was.
Thank you for doing this for us. And once I get confirmation from our government, we will be back in touch.
Do you have a manual of the ancient language that I could maybe use, a book?
They did not share much of their language, but I can have Tobantu mastered talking send you some documents we have that we've been able to piece fragments of their language we've been able to piece together.
I would appreciate that. I've been trying to figure it out for some time.
Can you get some basic, like, primers onto Bantu language? I mean,
Yes, might as well. Any information on your own language so we can help. I mean, telepathic communication is fantastic, but better understanding all around would probably be best, especially if we're going to be going in to quite a dangerous situation together. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Good. So yes, any basic understanding or basic instructional tools and better ways to communicate with you in your own language would be beneficial.
Oh, I can help with this. Riley's going to write out Morse code.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like hand it to them very proudly.
Okay.
I mean, in a pinch, like, it's not terrible.
Not at all.
Like, if we were
yeah.
super far away and, like, we could use the dots and the thing that we used at the beginning.
Yeah, tight beam laser.
Yeah.
Almost undetectable.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, actually. All right.
She puts another dash in the
It's 2
calendar.
today.
Today.
Dear diary, it was a big day for Riley.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says, I will have some primers in our language provided before you leave.
Thank you very much. Right, let's go so we can get to Dolan speaking some of that message.
Right. He's going to pick up the little statue.
Okay.
He's going to make a big deal of waving at every person in the room.
Okay. They're like 4 monkeys and the captain.
Yeah.
Okay.
They all get a little wave. And smile.
All right, let's go.
Right.
Yep.
Cool. We go.
Back on our ship.
Okay. And they give you something that looks sort of like a tablet
Okay.
PC, and they give you like a few of them, like 3 of them.
Kindle.
Aha! Duolingo.
And they also give you like the prototype of the Psi helmet.
Oh, lovely.
They spit out one.
That's good to know.
It's basically a beanie.
awesome.
Totally not aluminum foil.
It's not aluminum foil. No. But
Totally
it does
not.
have silver thread that's sort of winding through
Yeah.
it. So it does have a sort
It's
of
a
glittering.
college
through it.
town. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right? You're not wrong.
It might even strike a fashion craze.
Okay. And you guys make it back to your ship?
Yeah, cool. All right. So here's the prototype of the beanie. The beanie. I
Side
think
beanie.
The side beanie.
Wonderful.
This will work.
I feel like this will be the perfect level of unobtrusive that we were looking for.
Well, I suggest we Dolan speak quickly so we can get more information to Exodus as soon as possible. They do have a plan, or they are willing to share information with us if we get the government involved, and the smaller amount of information should the government not want to get involved. But if they don't get involved, then what kind of government are they? And fuck them. But might as well give them the opportunity.
I mean, yes. And, you know, luckily, Exodus does seem a little bit more.
Proactive.
Yes.
Right. So, should we jump to Dolan's Peak?
Let's do it.
Which one is Dolan's Peak? You said?
SCR 1845
Yep.
60.
Yeah, that's it. You're really good. Yeah.
I don't remember the rest of it.
6357.
Okay.
How many vectors?
1,
It's
2,
three.
3.
Perfect. Okay.
So
So that's
you're
a 7+.
yes.
Here, I'll help you. I'll assist you.
Okay, good. I will take that. I will take that boon.
So I have the astrogation and pilot.
Give me that one.
Do you really want me to touch it?
No.
Oh yeah. You want to re-roll it?
I got to stay in the.
That's
There
some
it goes.
destiny
That's
there.
better.
Okay, that's 7.
Exactly. You need a 7, right?
Yeah, 8, 10 total.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Now we're going to go stealth like immediately when we enter the system.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you,
And in the meantime, because that's 3, so it's 3 weeks,
1 week.
1 week.
Jumps is always 1 week, but the drive is sending you 3 parsecs rather than 1.
We have a
Got
3.
it.
We have a 3. Yeah.
So, got
So you get 1 week of stuff.
1 week of Tabanti.
Nice. I'm finishing computers. Or close. I'm at 7 of 8.
gonna spend that. No, I'm gonna put it in.
SCR 1845-6357. There we are. Also known as Dolan's Beak. All right, you come into the outer system. What did you make your roll by?
10.
Okay, so you made it by 3.
By 3,
Okay,
yeah.
so you come in sort of behind the gas giant because you know you're going to need to refuel because your
Right.
tank's going to be very close to dry now. And then you immediately go into stealth mode.
Wait, didn't we just refill?
Yeah, but you just used it all.
Don't we have a 3-jump ship? Oh, we used 3.
You
It was a
just-
3
yeah,
jump,
you just
yeah.
went 3 jumps. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I mean, you have enough fuel to still maneuver around the system and operate for probably a couple of weeks if you don't jump again.
Yeah.
Right.
But you can't.
we-
You can't
we
make any
can't
more.
jump.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't make
We
any
might as
more.
well fill it while we're here.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
Unless you're staying here forever.
And then we'll go ahead and send the message off to the wolf.
Mm-hmm.
While we're
But the
free-filling.
lurker ship is gone.
It's orbiting the main planet.
Oh. So the lurkers are still here.
Lurkin.
All right. So,
I mean, technically, I suppose we should call them the Kaba. That is what they are.
do they know that's their name? We should maybe tell them.
I think the less we tell them, the better.
All right. So I have a little bit of a weird idea. So there's the squid ancients, right?
Yes.
Like hypothetically, they are in a tank suit with whatever water or something in it. Rather than try, I mean, in addition to maybe we do both, spreading out the dust in the system to block its brain waves from controlling the other people. What if we got a small group, like Voss was suggesting, and going on the ship, and instead of necessarily trying to block it from, like if we could put it in a small dome of the stuff, then it might block it from controlling the entire system from the source.
Could be, but at that point, why don't we just kill it?
Well, right, that would also be important, but in case we're not sure how or something. Or if there's more things there, I don't know, but we could do, I mean, we can do both, ostensibly, both.
Oh, if it's in some kind of liquid, it would serve to believe that if we're going to do a spray of this material in space, why not just inject it into whatever liquid it's in?
That is also a possibility.
I'm just saying, if we can get that close, we should just kill it.
Oh, I agree. But if we do have to neutralize it and not kill it right away for some reason, I think that may be easier to administer than trying to catch it in some kind of dome.
What might be helpful is to constantly aerosol this stuff while we're combating it, so that it cannot control anything around it. It can't control its nanobots. It can't control the spaceships around. You're right. If we can concentrate this stuff, it can't communicate out, so everything else will be free. Who knows? It probably can't even control the ship.
Well, that we'd have to aerosol this stuff on the outside of the ship, so it still would have control.
We'd have to be aerosoling as we outside as we went in, because I think the closer we get to him, the more effective it would be, so that he can't broadcast out.
I don't think we can do that from inside the ship, though, because it would just be room to room. There'd be
Right.
so like 364 other degrees of brain wave going out.
Right. I'm just thinking that as we go room to room or person to person, all of the self-defense bots, I'm assuming, are controlled by him, would not be effective against us, or at least
Well, there's a lot of autopilot going on the ship,
there are.
too.
There are.
And I can't imagine he's using telepathy on machines.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we
Using
control.
telepathy on everything.
Yeah, we use telepathy to turn on and off the statue.
That is a good point.
Hmm.
That is a very good point, actually. I think you went a whole week without a good idea.
Either way.
Right.
First, we need to deal with first things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the message is off to the wolf, so it's going to take how long it's going to take to get to him.
We include the information on the Chuktal and see if maybe they can arrange some kind of you
There-
hate everyone, but like here's something that if you don't help stop, we'll probably be coming for you soon.
There's one problem when you send the message out. Basically, you're transmitting it to an automated starship that automatically jumps periodically from system to system, right? Or jumps to a system, transmits it to another one that jumps, etc. You don't get a response because these are small ships. I mean, I mean, you would have to like really paint radar to find them. They're little, and they usually stay in the outer system anyway. But when you transmit to them, you get a response back saying that the transmission's been received, and then at some point the next day or so, the ship will jump. You're not getting that response, which is extremely unusual in a system that's settled. There's always one there.
Great.
Are we getting responses from any of the is there any chatter of colonists or anything?
Nope.
Oh.
So we've refueled, right?
You've refueled, yes.
Well, at least the message was encrypted and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't like we just let the lurkers know everything that we didn't want them to know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're using 8 billion bit encryption.
Okay.
Using space encryption.
Yes.
Well, we can refuel and jump one away. Try it.
Let's go to WISE 08550714 because there should be something there, right?
I mean,
Oh, that's actually unsettled space.
Oh, never mind. Well, we can go to Bernard's Star then.
Mm-hmm. You could even go. I mean, depending how, you could even go to 0910. That's got a fuel depot, and it's going to have X-boats there as well. That's just empty space with a giant, tank of fuel.
That's what that stands for.
Yeah.
It makes the most. Which is that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Is that one? Okay.
Then you're only one jump away for the X-boat.
Nice. Okay.
That's actually going to get the message there 2 weeks faster.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, let's do that. So how many am I still jumping? 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be a 7 still. Oh.
Oh, here.
Hold
no,
on.
No, I'm helping you.
Oh, that's right, you're helping me. Thank God.
I always help.
Okay, that's better.
That's
So
better.
that's 5.
You need a 7.
6. And education?
I believe it's education.
8.
Okay.
yeah, you always add 2 things, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So you come into another week.
Perfect. And now I have computers 1.
Yay.
It reminds me of every time you guys start writing it down between jumps. It reminds me of Starship Troopers and the fact that at one point the main character is they call it the George, which is the junior officer who's in charge of all the stuff no one wants to have to deal with. One of the things he deals with is all the correspondence courses that all the people on the ship are taking. He has to organize all of that information.
Oh, that's a terrible job.
So, but I love the fact that you go correspondence courses in space.
Yeah.
All right, so basically, I don't know if you guys have been to one of these systems before. It's just a big chunk of empty space, and there is a extremely large tank complex. With ships, it's like a base, but it's basically just a fueling depot. So ships come up, they moor. You can get off. There's a little bit of a space station if you want to do some shopping or anything.
Sorry, can I retcon that we waited the 3 days or whatever we needed to wait in order to get the rest of the the beanies?
Oh, I had assumed.
Yeah, I thought we
Okay.
did too. Yeah.
They give you 2 dozen of them.
Perfect.
Great.
Great. Can we position ourselves on the opposite side of the gas giant so they don't know that
There's
we're
no
there?
gas giant. It's an empty. It's an empty
that's right.
system.
It's just a.
It's literally a space station with giant tanks of fuel.
It's a gas station.
Okay.
It's a gas station, yeah. But they have a snack shop.
It's like one of the big, like if you're driving
Right.
through
It's
the
a
Midwest,
trucker-
the
it's a
truck
trucker
stop.
stop.
Yeah.
But my concern is we are still in a highly classified ship.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, the world's gonna end anyway.
Yep.
Just fuck it.
So we're gonna. Actually, the attention at this point might be a good thing.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, they might take us seriously.
Refuel. Send the fucking message.
Okay.
Mhm.
You're sending the message to the wolf, correct?
To the wolf, yeah.
Okay.
Who else? What else do we see in this system?
There's several cargo ships. There's also exiting the system. You see what looks like a small task force of Ustas Navy ships.
Okay.
They're headed out, like away from Terra.
Okay. Can we broadcast to them what we know about 70 OBUG?
Well,
No.
I did that already. I sent my Jim Holden message.
Right, but now we know what this alloy is and that it can protect them.
I know, but like, that's not. It's just gonna cause a mass panic. And not to mention, like, regular Ustas Navy soldiers aren't gonna be.
I mean, everybody already knows that the system's under attack and people are being sent there. So these groups, I'm assuming these people might be being sent there.
Well, y'all did ask him to quarantine 70 OBG, right?
Yeah, that was part of the plan.
That
So-
message has not made it yet,
Oh, good.
because that message is going to take 7 weeks to get to Seoul, and by my calculations, it's only been 3.
I will also then resend the message from where we are now.
Okay.
To quarantine 70 OBG.
Yeah,
Is that going to be encrypted or unencrypted?
that's going to be unencrypted. I'm still gonna. It's the same message. Try not to cause a panic, but get it to the people we need to get it to mobilize what needs to happen.
Right.
But it's kind of a widespread. It's a Jim Holden message.
You're literally transmitting to all the ships in the
Oh, yeah.
system as well as the X-boats. Okay.
But didn't we tell them that there were ways to block or that they were using, we told them in the first message that they were using psionics to control people.
Yes.
I think you
There's
did, because
no
some of
part
the ships
that
turned
that's
around.
not gonna cause a massive panic.
Well, that's why I rolled diplomacy check.
Yeah, he rolled a really good diplomacy check. But it's also like, so what if it causes panic? If it keeps people from going there? Because the worst case scenario is that all these really powerful military ships show up in system and are taken over by the ancient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will send the message, and then I say we head back to Dolan's Peak to try to get the alloy. Yeah. Or is that a terrible idea?
That's a terrible idea. We
And-
have the beanies. We have 24 of these. We can go down and, like, set up people on the ground at 70 OBUG.
But we don't have the material to spray into the air to help.
Yeah, but we can get eyes on the ground. At the very least, we can get Lee Penn and, like, a couple of other trusted people who will be, like, not mind-controlled anymore, but they're just 3 or a dozen minds among so many that he probably won't notice. So you get your spies in place first. In my mind.
I think they're going to notice us flying and landing. I don't.
Maybe. Like, we come around, we do the same thing that we usually do. We come around and then we take the boat down.
But like literally every ship in the system is circling around protecting the alien ship. Anyone breaking from that formation, I mean, I assume I would notice it, and I'm assuming that the Vicky Squid is smarter than, me with ships.
Smarter than the average squid.
Well, all we can do is try. We don't know. It's an awfully big space. He's got a lot on to be watching and controlling. We come in stealth, and one little lifeboat dropping down to the planet on the far side away from him. He may not notice. Like she says, especially if we're not broadcasting psionics all over the place. If it turns out he can see us, then we just turn tail and run again. But it's worth a shot. Otherwise we're just standing around twiddling our thumbs.
Well, they may hold their fire when they realize no life forms on board.
I have a feeling that he's very, very busy trying to control everything. He's monitoring.
We have literally no
The
idea
planet.
if that's true or not.
But, if
But
he's-
there's literally no other way to find out.
and he's busy building this thing on this planet. That's got to be taking a lot of bandwidth for him.
We, again, have no way of knowing if that's the case at all.
We don't know it's not true.
If they're robots, like the the Tabadu said that they might just already know how to do it. He may be
then
sitting
we have
back in a
someone-
reclining chair.
Then we have someone on the guns, ready to help shoot down anything that may be on our tail.
All right.
I mean, but the other option is we continue to have zero idea what's happening and zero way of finding out.
Or we can go to Dolan's Peak, get more of this material, and perhaps free some of the ships that are.
I mean,
enslaved.
we're not engineers and we're not miners and we don't have any money. Like, the best way for us to get the material from Dolan's Peak, in my mind, is to have Exodus do it.
But that takes months.
Not necessarily. Not with the urgency.
It was
Like-
going to take weeks for our message just to get there.
1 week.
1 week. Oh.
And if you, I was going to say, if you stay in the system for a week, there's a chance you're going to get a response in a week rather than in
Yeah.
a month.
So, that's what we do.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
The task force, as soon as you can tell that message hits their ships, they spin and start decelerating, and now they're heading back in the opposite direction.
Good.
Awesome.
Well, we stopped them getting those ships at least.
So, detail to me the message that you're sending to the wolf.
The message is basically, here's the situation. We have encountered the Tumbantu, who were a subjugated race of what is known as the Elders. The Elder, his whole name, which I wrote down somewhere.
It stands victorious in the face of unrelenting
That's
foes.
him. There it is.
Vicky.
Seems currently in charge of 70 Obi-Uchi and is taken over all the ships in that sector and is basically using them as kind of a shield. We can only assume that the people on the planet have been subjugated. We are hoping to devise some kind of strategy to neutralize the telepathic link, at least temporarily, to let those ships escape his reach and get out of the system. In the meantime, a small task force will be tasked to get on his ship and neutralize the threat. Any assistance Exodus can give in this insane plan would be great. We know that the technology to block the telepathic link is this metal alloy, which can be harvested from the mines on Dolan's Peak. Unfortunately, and I'm adding this as an addendum to the current message I've done previously, unfortunately they seem currently dealing with lurkers, which are actually the Kaba.
Non-responsive.
Non-responsive, probably hostile, but we need those materials. So any help they can provide, and that would be great. In the event this plan does not work, in the event that all hope seems lost, I strongly recommend the use of antimatter weapons to neutralize the system in order to prevent them from spreading any further than 70 Obi-Uchi. We have contact with the alien race of the Tumbatu, who are interested in helping us with their own technology, but they're looking for our government to work with their species. If you can provide that, that's fantastic. If not, let us know as soon as possible so we can go to a plan B.
Okay. All right.
Hugs and kisses, XOXO gossip.
Okay. So you guys are you going to wait the week?
We might as well.
Should we?
Yeah.
Okay. Or
Otherwise-
maybe like a week and a day.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll start training in something else then for that one. What do I want? You're already training in
Yeah.
Tumbatu, right? What's going to be the best?
Why not? I can speak all the languages, and I can use none of them ever.
And it starts with C Tobantu learning language. C Tobantu learning language walk.
That's awesome.
Oh, man. I'm going to start training in back suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So a week and a day ish. Expo comes into the system, and you receive a message, and it's from the wolf, and it says it starts out with about a 25-digit number, and it says this is to an account that has been set aside for you. You don't need to worry about the balance.
Lovely.
The mining operations on Dolan's Peak, there is currently an investigation starting because the materials that were coming from there stopped. But I can give you some details about some locations where ore is kept. So you can at least get your hands on it. I don't know if it's going to be in a usable format. It turns out some of the contracts with Dolan's Peak were highly classified, and we can't get some of that information. It's possible some of those areas may have been actually manufacturing this material. So you'll need to go and investigate, and they give you a planetary map that shows where it wouldn't be called silos, warehouses, where the warehouses are, but the ships go down to load up and get back. It says that's about all we can do at this end. We're going to open up discussions with the Ustas government, but the Ustas government is currently in a shooting war over Elder Star Alpha. So I don't know how receptive they're going to be, but this seems extremely urgent.
Well, an Elder Star Alpha might not be there anymore.
Call it hunch.
Yeah.
Got like, it's just a thought.
All right. Well, we have a plan of attack at least.
Yup.
Wait, do we?
Well, we have an objective.
Oh,
We have part of a plan.
Well, if we can get the materials, then we can give it to the Timbantu, and they can start production on the shields. However, that's a long-term kind of mass protection situation that we were trying to go for there, on that end.
Well, we were hoping to try to
aerosol
aerosol it.
space assault.
Then yeah, let's go to Dolan Speak and find out what the fuck happened to all the people. They're probably all dead.
I think that perhaps we should go and shoot and take out the lurker strip.
I think our goal should be to get the materials and get out. We can deal with the lurkers later.
I feel like that's what they said last time. Technically, I think we thought someone else would take care of the lurkers.
Well, and they were also like a nice sort of, oh, you discovered sentience. If they destroyed the planet, then that might be the only place where we can get this ore that might save the entire universe. I'm a little less worried about 5 or 6 lurkers.
50 lurkers.
Yeah, tomato.
Once again, I think we can't stop the Elder if we're dead. And if the lurkers kill us, then we're dead. If we go, get the materials, and get out, kill any that we have to that gets in our way. But the lurkers aren't going anywhere. Not currently.
I mean, unless they've gone down to the planet.
Well, we warned them not to get the lurkers together.
True enough.
Our focus has to be the material.
Right. I just would prefer to take out the shooting ship and then go down for the materials, then cross our fingers that the shooting ship isn't going to shoot at us while we're going down for the material.
Well, when last we left, though, there was just a science ship. I don't think it had much in the way of weaponry, but who knows what they've done to it since we've been gone.
Again, I believe stealth is our best option here. Covert operations, getting the materials and getting out.
All right.
Agreed.
And then we can get that. If the material is in its malleable form, we can give it to the Tumbatu if we need to. Hopefully it's already been alloyed, and it's something we can have produced in that aerosol version, saving us time and a lot of heartache.
Right, an assault. This is more like it. All this thinking. I'm gonna go get my power armor.
For a minute, I thought you were going to say beer.
Oh no, it's got beer on it.
It's got beer built in now.
I've been doing some modifications.
Oh
haven't you?
yes. All this time.
Great.
Cool.
All right. So make that aster. You can get there in one jump, right? You jump 3 away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm helping.
Yes, thank you. I'm always going to forget that, so always remind me. Yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
We're great.
Best job ever.
Yes. Didn't hit another ship.
So you get another weeks of
Sick.
study.
2 more weeks, and I got engineer something. What engineer should I do? M-drive, jump, or dry? I'm just looking that up. No, figure it out
It's
later.
jump, maneuver, and power.
Right.
All right. So you come into SCR, whatever,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
that, oh,
Every time.
that the
It's okay. It's fine. It's good.
the science vessel is still in orbit, a high orbit around the planet.
Okay. So, thoughts on how we get in stealthily?
Can this ship do atmosphere? Do atmo?
Yeah, it's streamlined. Yeah. Now, obviously, you're not going to be stealthy
Yeah.
when a ship re-enters the atmosphere. I mean, you can have the stealth system on. Might overload it. Who knows? Because it
Well,
absorbs energy, and you're going to be
When
producing a lot of
last we were here, this is a mostly jungle planet, right? With just a couple of mining outposts.
This is correct me if I'm wrong. This is the planet where the atmosphere below a certain altitude is toxic,
Right.
and it's like sort of like a forest.
Right.
But there are some terrestrial plants that are growing above a certain altitude.
Right.
That
Well, I was just saying that if we come in on one of the less populated sides of the planet and we get down low enough, we could atmo it to someplace and land, as
Yeah.
opposed to coming straight down out of space and landing in the spaceport.
Won't that use like a lot of our fuel though?
it will use a significant amount of fuel. You probably are going to refuel first, I would imagine, but
Yeah.
it will probably use a lot.
Well, it's either that or we stay in orbit, stealth, and take the ship's boat down. Those are the two options.
I feel like the second might be the better option.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Because at least then the ship and the crew all stay stealthed, and the 4 of us can go down and see what we can recover. We might be able to hide even with the ship's boat, but there's no way we can hide the entire ship down on the surface.
Yeah, I think we take the ship's boat.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, someone give me a piloting check.
That's all you, buddy.
I can help you with that.
Great.
And this your difficulty is 6.
Oh, I have small craft.
This is a small craft.
Oh, I'm piloting small craft. 1.
That's 7, 8.
Okay. All right. Where are you going to land? You've got I think there's 5 settlements on the planet.
Well, depending on where the map said that the most refined ore was, we're probably going to
Yeah.
head there.
Because
Yeah.
we're looking for the warehouses.
Right. Well, the warehouses are scattered all over the planet. There's basically the settlements, and every one of them has a warehouse because they all have mining operations going.
Okay.
But there's one that has a much larger warehouse that's sort of like the main settlement, which is not the place you went to the first time.
We
Okay.
probably don't need all that. We can't fit that much in the ship's boat anyway. I think we should probably go to one of the smaller, out-of-the-way places.
Yeah, but if we want to know what's going on, then the big one would be the way to find out the
that's true.
fastest.
And they might have a second shuttle that we can take and fill up.
And we
Yeah.
also now have an unlimited bank account to hire them to dig more.
That's true.
Assuming they're alive.
Gave you
Right.
the black card.
Yeah.
Okay. So you land. There's a space, or like a landing pad, basically, and there's warehouses adjacent to it, and you can see there's equipment sitting outside, like loaders and things like that. You do not see a soul, and there's a whole settlement. It's daytime. There's a whole settlement, probably 6,000-8,000 people it would accommodate, and you don't see a soul.
I wonder if
Okay.
they're under the ground again, like we found them the first time.
I think they're all dead.
Well, let's
Well,
go find
be a bit more
out.
optimistic than that.
This is a bit of deja vu.
What's the settlement look like? Is it all like everything? Blast shutters are down and doors are blown open.
No,
debris everywhere. Or does it look like it's just?
Well, the I mean, like the telltale thing really is like the loading equipment. It's just like sitting there, like
somebody stopped within the middle of what they were doing. Is it like the loading equipment got like the forklift was halfway up with a load on it? And it's just sitting there.
And it's just sitting there.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm going to take a quick look around for gray sludge.
Okay. Like, you go check like the seat in the forklift, and there's no gray sludge
okay,
there.
well that's okay. I
Blood?
feel better about that.
Blood?
No.
Well, I remember last time when the lurkers were taking over everyone, they all just kind of ran. That we found half-eaten meals and many things like that.
just a note of, do you have the specs on this battle armor that I'm wearing?
Yeah.
'Cause it comes with all these different options, so I just sort of need to know what my...
Well, I'm about to end, so I'll give it to you.
Oh, all right.
Since you're done.
So let's go, I guess. Main hall, or no signs of life.
There's no one around. You walk around. You can walk around for half an hour, 45
picking
minutes.
up any chatter or anything on the radio at all? No. Or is it just...
No.
Is there a complex map which shows underground tunnels? Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean it's very similar to the other place. There's a lift that takes you down. It's open air, so you have to wear a breather. It takes you down to the base of the mountain, and then there's this one has like 2 or 3 different tunnel complexes.
Well, before
Well,
do
I'm
that,
not
let's
going to
check
take
the
my
computer.
backsuit off. Like, this is...
That's a good idea.
I
Yeah,
was
just
like-
check the computer before we start getting lost in tunnels. And see if they've left a message, or at least see if we can...
Yeah, is there any kind of message, any kind of
Can we find the colonist transponders?
With the little wristwatch thing. So, like in the main hall, there's like a tablet sitting there, and there's an older woman who says that if anyone is reading, if anyone is seeing this, that's a message that got transmitted. If anyone is seeing this, the science vessel is returning and is establishing orbit. We're going to evacuate.
Okay. Great. So hopefully they all just got out. Let's go see if there's a bunch of
Or
alloy
just lying
around.
around, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is some of it on those loaders that are already out front? Like, we just have to drive it over to our ship.
You go in. There's like pallets. It's not really pallets. It's like steel containers or probably not steel, probably aluminum because you got to ship the shit. But like aluminum containers that are filled with what looks like some kind of sand.
Nice.
Perfect.
And there's a lot of them.
Cool.
There's probably 2 or 3 dozen of them. And your ship might be able to hold 2, maybe.
2
And
dozen
get off.
or just 2?
2.
Okay.
And because this is a ship's boat. This is not like a...
Well, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, and you may need to lead people to be able to get off the ground. I mean, because this is like... Basically, it's like 4x4x4 things of metal.
Like the size of this table kind of thing, just full of...
Yeah, they're freaking huge
Okay.
and heavy as fuck. You can tell by the forklifts.
Nice.
They're not using like the little tiny Toyota forklifts with the propane tank on the back of it.
So, and there aren't any crafts, like shuttle crafts or anything around.
No, there's like air rafts, that kind of thing.
But
Which
then
is
they
like-
can break orbit.
They can break orbit. There's probably 2 or 3 of them. They might be able to handle a pallet of it.
Is
maybe.
there the equivalent of a semi-truck air raft?
Not here, no. But there's like 3 or 4 air
Like,
rafts.
one that's just Peterbilt, big giant.
We can also do, like, multiple trips.
That's what I'm thinking, too. Because how long did it take us to get from our ship down to the planet?
Without being noticed.
Oh, it probably takes you like half a day.
Oh.
That's why, like, if there's multiple rafts, like, we take a load up. Like, Vesa can pilot one of the other rafts up. I pilot one.
I can't.
And then we get anyone else who's pilot capable.
I mean, maybe we do just land the frickin' ship.
Or
Just
we do
load
that.
up as much as we can, and then
Get
head
the
out.
fuck up.
Yeah.
We could do that too.
Since we've established that this place is pretty much empty right now.
And we know
Yeah.
why.
And we know why. Which is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's like, is it going to be like Silent Hill down on here?
Right.
We may have a limited time, though, because once that ship breaks stealth and lands, we've only got hours before, followed shortly thereafter by lurkers.
So perhaps before we let the ship break orbit, we should have all of the contents ready to load.
Right.
All out's ready to go, so we can just load it in and go.
Good idea.
Sounds great.
The other thing we can do is we can try to find a space truck and get it up there, but I
Doubt we'll find one. But yeah, I think it's best to just bring the ship down and have everything ready to go. The minute the ship lands, toss everything on, and we're out.
Should we perhaps, when we leave, should we tell the Batu that they should come here and start harvesting the rest of it?
They have destroyers. I feel like that would be better served, unless they have like mining operation people.
Not to mention they'd have to deal with the Kabah.
they've got their little engineer monkeys. I'm sure they can cobble something together to make it work.
But
Right.
then, well, we'll see. We'll give them the information when we give them the supplies.
Yeah, so I think that's the best plan, is bring the ship down, toss everything on, get out.
Yeah, we have it all lined up,
All
ready to go.
And I actually have drive hover.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Very helpful.
So who's piloting the ship down?
Two crows.
I mean, sure.
So you gonna go back up?
Well, it
get
might
the
be
ship?
wasn't Attila capable?
She's an engineer.
I don't know. Let me see.
Well, I feel like that's a fine use of time. Like if three of us are sitting there moving all these.
That's true.
And then
Yeah, and
yeah.
one
Yeah.
person
So you
going
take
back.
the ship's boat back.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are all loading everything up.
Yeah.
You go back up to the ship. Go ahead and make your roll to land.
That's 5, 6, 7. What?
Yeah.
Not enough?
You need an 8.
8
8 is our minimum. 8 is the minimum of being able to
for a standard difficulty task, and I would say landing a ship on the.
Does the ship have any kind of assistance?
I was about to say, is there any assistance I could get from something?
Well, we're all on the ground, so we can't really help you there.
Well, let me look and see if anyone else has a.
Because it's intellect and not education. Because if it's education, I made it.
I think it's int.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm a little fucked.
I'll you go ahead and roll one more die and take the higher.
Okay, yeah. That's an 8, 9, 10.
Okay. All right. Boom. Okay.
Say it till it helped.
So you land the ship, and you guys are starting to load up, and there's a lift off to the side, and all of a sudden it activates, and you can see that the winch is turning. And we'll end it there.
Oh no. All right, a good game.
Yeah.
Yay.
I feel like we actually did something. It's not a lot of what's going on. What the
mean, there
hell
was
is
some of that.
thing?
So much talking.
But I think it was all like important, productive talking, like
Yes,
getting
this
new
is true.
information.
Now we have a plan. You just have to start checking the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, just have to.
yeah.
It's like fully ignore the fact that it's quite possible that all the people from Dolan Speak are dead.
Well,
Again.
needs
Because
the
it's
many.
like, if they evacuated, like whether or not they evacuated successfully is the question.
Yeah. Cool. Was it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you
Cool.
for joining us. What was that, session 11?
11. Yeah.
11. Thank you for joining us for session 11 of Exodus. If you'd like to see more, you can go to happyjacks.org/shows and find that one and all the other fine shows we do here. And I think that's it. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. We have a bunch of new shows and stuff happening soon, so check out happyjacks.org/schedule for the actual times we play. Just a list. It's not fancy like a show.
Schedule.
Yes.
I would say that too.
Schedule.
Thank you
Bye.
very much.
Bye.
If I told you the things I've seen on my ways, If I told you the things I've done in my days, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's best I just don't say. I've lived 1,000 lives, I piloted 1,000 souls, I killed and fought and died just for a single role.
The preceding program has been a presentation of the Angry Folk Media Empire.
Bum, 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 bum.